Welcome to your next challenge in the Rethinking Dry Eye Treatment Challenge. This is one of my favorite challenges because it goes into a lot. We're going to dump a lot of information on you, but there's a reason. And this is such an important part of the whole dry eye journey that I think this is the most important. But why do we save it for week 3? Because it's overwhelming. We want to give you some quick wins in the first couple challenges, which is cleaning your eyelids, drinking more water, very easy things to do. This one's going to be a little more challenging for you guys, but before we jump into that, we're going to do our disclaimer. This is just for educational purposes. We are just two doctors on the internet. This is not to replace your doctor's advice, so remember that. All right, let's jump into my favorite week.
So we are going to talk about green smoothies this week, but we are also going to talk about what this all means as far as your diet goes. Now, we will use the term diet a lot, but we don't actually believe in dieting. We just use this word to describe what you're eating in general. So you are not going on a diet. You are starting a new diet of healthy foods that will completely transform your life. So if you stick to this healthy new lifestyle of eating, you can eat as much as you want inside of it and feel great doing so. So again, you are not going on a diet. This is just a healthy eating journey for you.
I think people ask us all the time, like, how do we stay in shape and how do we look like we do and we don't gain weight? We just pretty much stay the same all the time. And it's because we eat healthy and we eat the same foods pretty much every single day. And we don't have any processed foods or anything like that. We'll get into all that here in just a little bit, but we just have based our diet around healthy foods. And people are like, aren't you missing out? No, I'm not. I feel great all the time, most of the time. And I eat good food.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, this is all about embracing healthy foods, right? So once you clear away all the junk that's clogging your body from years of a poor diet, you can
Processed foods.
all these processed foods that you've been eating, you can unclog your mind and your body, and you'll help your body tap into its healthiest that it can possibly be. So where does this transformation begin? Well, it all starts with plants. Now, a healthy plant-based diet is the consumption of nutrient-dense plant foods while minimizing, if not eliminating, processed foods, oils, and any bad animal foods and fats. So this encourages lots of vegetables, cooked or raw, fruits, beans, lentils, seeds, nuts, all of those good things, because plants help to balance your hormones. They maintain a stable blood sugar and blood pressure, and they generally fuel all of your systems in a cleaner and more efficient way. So that's why we recommend so many plants. They can really supercharge your body and help you live the life that you've really always dreamed of.
Now, there's been a lot of research done on plant-based diets as well. And I'm not telling you to go vegetarian. I'm not telling you to go vegan. I'm just telling you to be smarter about the choices that you make. But studies have shown over and over again that if you focus more on plant-based diets, you're going to live longer, you're going to feel younger, you're going to have more energy, you're going to have healthier eyes, you're going to keep your mind sharp, obviously I need, but keep your mind sharp, and then you're going to have a more vibrant sex life. So let's go into why plants and why we go into this. And fiber is one of the biggest things. Fiber is at the top of the list of benefits for plants. Dietary fibers found in vegetables, fruits. Not a big fan of whole grains myself or legumes, but you can find them in there as well. I like to stick to vegetables and fruits for me. But fiber just helps scrub your intestines clean, helps keep your GI tract intact. You have skin to protect you from the outside world. Your gut is that protection on the inside. And most of you have leaky gut syndrome, which is meaning that your gut is permeable. It's like having little cuts on your skin. And so it leaves you vulnerable to a lot of inflammation and a lot of problems going on in your diet. And fiber can help with that. So vegetables, plants, fruits, more plants, just help clean and scrub your whole inner biome, everything. Just makes you feel a lot better. And then also make sure that you're eating a lot of water, because fiber works best with water. And the next thing we want to talk about is fats. We're taught that eating a low-fat product will help us lose the fat we have in our bodies. And to replace this low-fat want, carbohydrate and sugar intake has increased dramatically. So we've just replaced fats with sugar and carbohydrates. The opposite of this is true as well. A high-fat, low-carb diet can be just as harmful because good carbohydrates are needed to help fuel your body in most cases. So we need to figure out the difference, and we need to find the balance of eating good fats, olive oil, avocados, nuts, seeds, even grass-fed and finished beef Those are all good fats. And then we need to find good carbohydrates, which is what we just talked about with fruits and vegetables. Most fruits and vegetables contain carbs. Those are going to be great carbs for your body. Now, the grocery store, of course, makes this even more confusing by labeling everything with low fat, low carb, gluten-free, whole grain, all natural, high fiber. That's the problem with processed foods, is they have these labels on them, but they're not
that
healthy at all.
honestly don't mean anything.
The labels
most
don't
of
mean
the
anything.
time.
And so like, if you can stay away from anything in a box or a can, it's going to make you feel a lot better. Now, before we go on, fat has its place in the diet and can be very healing for you. Just make sure to stick to good fats. Again, organic olive oil, organic avocado oil, seeds that are organic, nuts that are organic, and pasture-raised beef or pasture-raised chicken, pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed and finished beef. Those are all going to be healthier fats. If you eat fish, then you want to eat wild fish. And so there's such keys to the meat that you're eating, and we'll get into that probably a little bit later. But meat, I'm not telling you not to eat meat. I'm just saying make smarter choices when you eat it. Again, grass-fed and finished beef. It's going to be a little more expensive, but it's a lot healthier for you. It actually tastes better too. Grass or pasture-raised eggs. I can't emphasize that. Like, they're so much healthier for you. They come with omega-3s, and that's great for your eyes, as you guys know, because healthier fats. And so make sure you're eating grass-fed and finished beef, pasture-raised eggs and chicken, and wild-caught fish if you're going to eat fish.
Yeah, and we are going to dive a little bit more into fats in a different lesson. So you'll learn a lot more about that because they are so important for your eyes. But the next thing that we're going to talk about is sugar. Now, sugar is another interesting nutrient that has a ton of controversy. We're told to eat low sugar, which means low carbohydrate diets in order to lose weight. And the key to this isn't the sugar itself, but rather the form of sugar that you're eating. Now, sugar in its natural form inside fruits and vegetables is very good for your body and can be used by your body. Eating whole fruits and vegetables, as we've been talking about, is very good for your body and can be used. Now, where sugar takes a turn for the worse is when it's processed or refined down, and the little white crystals that you're used to seeing, those are the problem. Now, added sugar, added sugar is everywhere. If you look at the labels in the grocery store, look at how much added sugar is added into the things that you're buying.
So when you look at the label, look added sugar, and you want to eliminate all foods that say added sugar on them.
Yeah, so, here's just a brief list. Cakes, cookies, donuts, crackers, pop or soda, bread, ice cream, fruit juices, jellies, jams, some peanut butters, sauces, salad dressings, alcohol, coffee drinks, sports drinks, energy drinks, pies, all of those things.
Black coffee is okay.
But that's really hard for a lot of people. I can honestly tell you that we rarely buy anything that contains added sugar for this reason. And that includes for our kids as well. So to know if the food you're eating contains added sugar, you just need to check the ingredients list for the word sugar, but there are tons of names. So we always like to tell you to look at the added sugar. So when you're looking at the back of a nutrition label, it will tell you how much sugar is in the product, but you want to look at how much sugar is actually added in. Now, a side note on fruit juices as well. Juicing has become incredibly popular, but drinking, orange juices and other juices from your grocery store, you're not getting any of the fiber that comes with that amazing fruit. Sugar. Exactly. And a lot of them do have added sugar. You have to be really careful. So eliminating just a daily orange juice could mean dropping the weight that you've been, hanging on to and wanting to drop.
And if you love orange juice, make it yourself. Grab the oranges, juice the oranges.
Yeah. Now, a key takeaway is to avoid anything in a box or a can, like Travis has already said. The likelihood of sugar being added is pretty high in those foods. Sugar is one of the leading causes of inflammation that leads to disease in our world today. And this may include inflammation that contributes to your dry eye.
So with that being said, what is the number one way to reduce inflammation in your body? Now, you've probably guessed it by now, but a plant-based alkalizing diet. Plants have this incredible alkalizing effect on your body, which means they're basic, which means they decrease the acid in your body, which decreases the inflammation. A diet high in whole plant foods can help rebalance your estrogen levels, your hormone levels. Fiber helps get rid of all the excess waste in your body that you don't need, and it will detox. And this all starts with vegetables, of course. And so a plant-based alkaline diet staple is plants. And you may think this sounds boring, but we're going to give you a great recipe at the end of this that's going to make this a lot easier to do. Now, according to the CDC, 40% of Americans don't eat a single fruit or vegetable every day. Not a single fruit or vegetable, not even one apple, not even a piece of lettuce in a day. And that is crazy because vegetables shouldn't be your side dish. They should be your main dish. This should be what you're eating on a consistent basis. We have a tray in our fridge that's full of organic carrots, organic celery, organic blueberries, organic strawberries, organic fruits and vegetables. So we make it easy to eat those. So instead of reaching for your snack cabinet, which should be empty by now, but you're reaching for that instead. And so think of vegetables as the main source, and you want to focus on organic vegetables, organic frozen, organic fresh, because if you're not getting organic, you're getting pesticides with it, which is a whole nother problem. So on top of vegetables, we also have
fruit. Now, fruit does wonders for your body and contains vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, and fiber. It can help protect against cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer, but must be consumed in moderation. So we're going to divide fruit into 3 categories. So there's low sugar fruits that can be consumed pretty much anytime and daily. There's moderate sugar fruits that you want to kind of limit to 1 to 5 times a week. And then high sugar fruits, you can pretty much avoid, at least at first, but they can be consumed occasionally, especially if you like to exercise, if you like to work out, and depending on how active you are, you can have those more often.
And then we're going to go into the fruits in a chart. I'm going to show you guys in a little bit just so you can see a list. And this chart is in your supplement guide. So make sure you go get that, print it off so you have it in front of you. But there's going to be low sugar fruit, moderate sugar fruit, high sugar fruit in that. And we'll go into that in just a little bit. But let's go into your challenge of the week this week. So we wanted to make this easy. We don't want it to be a challenge to switch to this plant-based alkalizing diet. And so I don't want you to change too much, and we'll go over our diet as well. But the one thing I want you to do is I want you to replace your breakfast with a green smoothie every morning. And you're going to do that for the next 21 days. First 7 days is not going to be fun. Then days 8 through 14, you're going to start adjusting to it because your body's not used to all that fiber that you're putting in it because it's full of vegetables and fruits and all these other things. And then after day 15, you're going to start craving it. Your body craves what you eat. I'm going to say that again. Your body craves what you eat. And so if you eat junk, it's going to crave junk. If you eat health food, you're going to crave health food. I don't crave junk because I don't eat junk. And if I notice that I'm starting to eat a lot of processed food, I start to crave it. And so what I do is I try to safeguard against that. And that is with my green smoothie every morning. So I drink that in the morning, pretty much 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours after I wake up. So I'll wake up, do my hyperhydration, go work out, come upstairs, and then I'll drink my green smoothie for the morning.
Yeah. And you know, we're not perfect by any means with any of this, but a green smoothie is just an amazing, simple staple that you can have every single morning. I know that when we get home from a, vacation or something where we didn't get our green smoothie, we weren't able to have our green smoothie, we want that green smoothie. We can't wait to have it.
Yeah. And then the second thing I want you to do is look at the meat that you're buying. When you're buying meat at a grocery store, make sure you're buying pasture-raised eggs. Make sure you're buying pasture-raised chicken. Make sure you're buying grass-fed and finished beef. Those are going to increase the health of the meat that you're eating and consuming. It's better fats, it's better quality meat, it's better for your body. It's not pushed with a bunch of fillers and corn and soy that traditional meat it has, and that's not good for you. Traditional meat is not good for you because of what they're fed. And so when they're eating their natural diet, which is the grass-fed and finished beef, they're going to be healthier for you as well. All right, so let's jump over to the chart so you guys can see what we're working with here. So I'm going to get out of this screen. All right, so here's your green smoothie chart. And it's pretty easy to follow. What you're going to do is you're just going to, the goal of this is to eliminate sugars and pump your body full of antioxidants. And so we're going to have some recipes down at the bottom, but here's your vegetable chart that we like to put in. I like to stick with spinach just because it's a very neutral flavor to start. Bold that one. So spinach is very neutral to start out with. Using different fats, you can use any of these healthy fats. Make sure, again, they're organic when possible, but you don't need a healthy fat in there. We just like to put something like, we've done flax seeds, but we also take an omega-3, so we do both. And then scrolling down here, here's your fruits with low sugar. Stick to berries. This is what I recommend. If you want rapid onset of plant-fighting benefits, if you want a rapid decrease in inflammation, berries are your key. They're lower in sugar, and they're healthier for you than most other fruits. And so from our green smoothie in the morning, it's berries, spinach, avocado. And that's essentially it. I put a banana in mine. Bananas are very high in sugar, but that's because I work out hard every morning. And I need that banana to help with cramping and everything. So stick with these low sugar if you want to decrease If you want to have weight loss fast, if you want to decrease inflammation fast, stick with berries only.
Yeah, and you can absolutely use any of the fruits on this list, but this is just a guideline. You know, there's information on all of these, which, you know, why we recommend what we do. Another thing is that you may want to rotate your greens every once in a while. So once you get used to spinach, spinach really doesn't have a taste, but once you, you know, branch out into kale or broccoli or even romaine.
We call it kale week. It's terrible.
Those can be a little more challenging, but just know that you're putting incredibly healthy food into your body. You're doing it for a reason, and a really good reason. You want to feel better.
Yeah. And like I said, avoid the high sugar fruits, which are down here, because those are going to be higher in sugar. Even though it is natural sugar, it is still high sugar. So you want to be careful with how much sugar intake you're taking. So this is our smoothie chart. It's pretty easy to follow. What you do is you pick your green over here. You then pick 2 over here. This is for flavor. Remember, low sugar. Start with berries first. If you need to add a banana for flavor, that's fine, but try to get that reduced. And then pick 2 or 3 healthy fats. So avocados, flaxseed, almond butter, things like that. You can use protein powder or greens powder if you want. I don't. Jenna does.
I do.
And so I don't like to use any powders in my smoothies. Mine are just fruits and vegetables, and that's it. Powders tend to upset my stomach a little bit more, so I don't use those as much.
And if you're going to use a protein powder, it's incredibly hard to find clean protein powders.
Grass-fed bone
Yeah,
broth
so
protein.
bone broth protein is the best that you can get. So
Grass-fed.
that's definitely what I recommend.
Yeah, huge to be grass-fed though. All right, and then here's a green smoothie grocery list. And so these are different recipes that you can try. And then, yeah, just try that out. This is your grocery list. Take that to the grocery store, pick all that up. And then here's some recipes down below. All right, to re-emphasize your challenge of the week, replace your breakfast with a green smoothie. Simple as that. That's all you need to do. Replace your breakfast with a green smoothie. Breakfast foods tend to be incredibly inflammatory. And then just to go over our diet real quick, green smoothie in the morning, we eat eggs for lunch, and then we eat usually grass-fed beef or pasture-raised chicken for dinner with some vegetables on the side like carrots, celery, and cucumbers. Big cucumber kick right now for some reason. And then your supplement of the week is to take a great multivitamin. We've known the people from Passion for Health. This is the brand Passion for Life multivitamin for about 8 years now. And we love their vitamin because it is chock full of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, and it tastes good. And so you just take a shot of it, and that's going to help you out. So green smoothie for breakfast, take your multivitamin, a liquid form. Don't take cheap vitamins because you just pee them out.
Yeah,
They don't do
and
much.
this vitamin is awesome because your entire family can take it too. So if you have kids, grandkids, the whole family can take it, which is amazing.